My name is Paige Downpool, and I'm going to be talking to you about vacuum constriction devices, which are used for erectile dysfunction. For those of you who don't know what erectile dysfunction is, it is the inability of a person with a penis to maintain an erection sufficient for satisfying sexual activity. Now, we're going to talk about what this device does. And the structure of it is, I keep messing up. Allie, I feel like you being in here is messing me up. Okay, I got this. We're just going to go through it. That's it. My name is Paige Downpool, and I'm going to be talking to you today about vacuum constriction devices, which are used for erectile dysfunction. For those of you who don't know, erectile dysfunction is the inability of a person to maintain an erection that is sufficient enough for sexual activity. So the structure of it is kind of like a suction cup with a pump, and it has an acrylic cylinder that's attached to the base of the penis. It is used for erectile dysfunction, and it creates and maintains the erection. So this first picture kind of shows you the vacuum device that is suctioned to the base of the penis, and it has a handheld pump. And this is basically the same thing. I just wanted to show you one with a different pump. And then this is a new model of the device, and it is one of the more expensive ones. So this device was made by Gettings David Osborne, and it was created at the Youth Equivalent Company Incorporation in 1974, and he was 73 when he created it. And this piece of paper right here is the early drawings and instructions and notes, and basically how they came up with it and how you're going to use it. So the pros and cons of this device are 50 to 80% of men are satisfied. And what I mean by that is they're sexually satisfied and they're able to have an erection. It also helps with blood flow, meaning that whenever you have an erection or someone who has an erection that doesn't have erectile dysfunction, there is a heavy amount of blood flow going on, but it can cause problems if you aren't able to have an erection and you don't have that blood flow. It also helps with diabetes, and that kind of goes back to the whole blood flow thing. Just as you can lose a finger or a foot or any body part because you have water that's being retained just because of your insulin issue, it can also happen to your penis. So this device provides blood flow, and it is going to help with things that happen whenever you have diabetes. It also can help with depression and anxiety, because if you think about it, just like anything that anybody does for pleasure or something that makes them happy, an erection can be that for some people. And if that's taken away from them and they're not able to complete that, then that can cause them to go into a state of depression and cause them to develop anxiety. If you look at the cons of it, there is a small amount of bruising just because the suction cup and the high pressure seal at the base of the penis can sometimes cause bruising because that skin is sensitive. The force of the erection can sometimes be painful to some people, not all, and it's not very common, but just with the help of the device and how, depending on how fast you pump it, it can cause pain. And messiness is another con, because not only do you have to clean yourself up afterwards, you have to clean the device, because that's something that you do want to keep very sanitized and very clean. So what is the cost and what is the insurance coverage? Depending on the brand, the cost can be anywhere from $300 to $500. Medicare will cover part of the device, but Medicaid most of the time will not. The only time Medicaid will cover the device is if you have a documented medical cause by your general practitioner, your psychologist, something like that, or there's extreme circumstances. And is there a female equivalent? There isn't really a female equivalent to erectile dysfunction on any medical journal or platform, but women can lose sexual interest and willingness. It's very common for women of any age to have a low sex drive. There's an FDA-approved drug called flibanserin, better known as Addyi. That is a female version of Viagra. And for those of you who don't know what Viagra is, it is a medication that can basically do kind of what the device does, but not as well, and sometimes it doesn't work, so that's why the device comes into play. And the medication is not normally covered by insurance. So the two discussion questions I have for you today are: question 1, if you had the chance or resources, would you use a vacuum erectile device if needed? And question 2 is, do you think the pros of this device outweigh the cons, and if not, why? And here are my sources, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something, and if you have any questions, please just feel free to message me.